Django, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay, Django? What is up? What is going on? What is the deal? Welcome back to another The Strong World or Bounty Pirates. I don't know why they did that. I have no idea why they did that. But either way, you know, and welcome. And if you're a beginner, tuck in, man. Grab some snacks and let's get into this. Today we're going to be talking about characters and a reason why I was sort of putting off, and I don't really want to do a tier list guide, and I'll explain all of that. Either way, without further ado's, let's do it. All right, so here we are. We have all of the characters that are currently in the game, and they all separate into three different categories. We start here with the DPS, as you can sort of see. Okay, no matter what other specific title they have along with that DPS, they fall under three categories. Then we have here the defense. Now the defense usually run the tank units or units that are heavy on defense and HP. Don't forget about the speed category because for some that will also come into play. Sort of like on my Nightmare Luffy, and that's one of the reasons why I use them, besides the fact that I don't have any other tanks. And lastly, the support characters. Even though they fall into support, it is solely not healing. They can do other things. Some of these are focused on healing as well as reviving, as well as charming characters or petrification. There's something else that they offer that is not just healing. All right, so that's the list. Now that we got that situated, let's look at my box and sort of go over the characters and what we're actually dealing with. All right, but as you know, when you get a character, it's base, and you can level them up all the way up to 100, and then after that, you need to ascend them. Now, what it takes to ascend them the first time to Red Star is a copy of that character, and then another specific character of that same faction, and then 3 other units of that same faction. So upgrading an ascension, no matter what character it is going to require the same thing. And all of these are going to come from the same faction. So even if I look here, you start to see that you're going to need a 6-star hero to get these up. So even if you do get the high tier UR character, you got to get 2 of them to really make them do something. They'll be good at base or at 100, but you're not going to get the skill levels up, because these don't come until you ascend the character. Otherwise, it'll be stuck at level 1 respectively, right? So it starts to change where you really need to figure out a team composition. All right, so now that we know all units go under 3 categories, let's go look in Arena PvP and see what characters are in there the most, and then we'll discuss why they're in there. All right, here we are, Arena. Now we'll just look at the top 3. All right, we will start here with this awesome player here. Who's in this cool clan. Look at this awesome clan. All right. Sorry. So we see Wano Zoro. Okay. See a Law. And we see the Wano Luffy. All right. Then we see Marco. Sengoku. Another Law. Now we have a little bit of difference here. And then also Wano Zoro again. And we see that Sengoku. And then, you know, if you have these units, obviously. And then we have here Boa Hancock, who I just recently got and who I already know I want to build, right? And then a Crocus, who is also another healer, right? All right, now we're actually in here. We'll do a battle, and I'll explain this a little bit more. But before we do, we can look, and you start to see a lot of the same characters popping out, and for different reasons. Other than them being leveled up, you see the stats and what they can sort of do behind it, right? Another Wano Zoro, Wano Luffy, Marco. Starting to see a pattern here, and you can already start to see the tier list of the characters that are being used. Now here we go. I fought this guy before. Now, bounty-wise, I'm sitting at 229, so I should be able to really wipe the floor. And as far as other units go, my fleet is pretty much up, so I have 145 here, whereas he has 100. Now let's get into the match and see what happens. So off the bat, immediately, you see the power that his Zoro does, and you see that I'm silenced. So now I can't use any of my abilities. This is why people are running Wano Zoro, and this is why he's such a good unit. Now, up front, he's got Marco, who is under the defense, which is also a tank, but most of his abilities are healing, and he hasn't also revived. That's going to be a problem, because he's going to be hard to kill, okay? Then he has Ace way in the back, who if Ace gets down to 50%, It's over. He kicks in, his resistance goes up, and he's even harder to kill. All right, so we took out Marco. Now you see why I run law and why people do. He has attack up, he has speed up. He can also, it's not Gamma Knife. I forget the actual name of the spell, but this lowers defense. And then I'm running Doflamingo here, who I like to use and I've leveled up because Doflamingo has Charm. So once he does the Charm, and depending on what sub runes you put on him for also different effects, you can also have some good abilities. But basically, if I use Charm on his Zoro and he gets charmed, and Zoro's next ability was to do the silence, he would use it on his own team. And then my main DPS over here is Cazarro, who is just an all-around beast. Now, he is equipped with the 2 attacks, so if he does get a kill, he'll do a double attack. And this is where it starts to vary, where the tier list is really customizable sort of on what you equip to him. Now, technically, like I said, I should really be wiping the floor with him, but he had a good Zoro, so the first 2 turns I couldn't use any abilities. He silenced me, and it's all RNG, sort of how it's going to hit and what's going to happen. He's running the Kuja ship, which does pretty good damage and also heals, but mine, the Blackbeard ship gives that stun. You see that? Did you see that? And I just ended up being RNG with who ended up hitting and who ended up killing, but I should have won that. Right? So on paper, it looked like I was going to wash him, but it's different because of the RNG kicks in, and that's what the tier list sort of depend on. Who's leveled up? What else do they have on the character? All right, if we look at his Zoro, he's got a level 3 skill here. So you get silenced for 2 turns, right? And his is level 3. So blow targets into the air, attack 2 random targets to the mid and rear and deal 209% damage, 59% chance to silence. Targets last 2 turns, damage plus 22.5% if a target is a DPS hero. You know, like that was pretty much all my back line. Besides Law, who was under the healer category, but you start to see how it plays and what the differences are. Now he's got a speed rune on, so he's gonna move faster, and then he's got a revival one. Now to handle anything revival, which I do have equipped, is on my DPS, where Cazarro, he has a ban attack where he will ban them from being revived. So much more comes into play than just having a top tier unit. Really what matters most is the ascension and your skill level and sort of the team you built around them. So the plan here was essentially silence them, do more damage to the DPS, ban their healing, and then have their tank right here also do healing. Like, even though this is at level 1, you can imagine. Okay, so we saw how that works. Now let's go in here. Let's make some changes. Why a tier list is also different, because it depends on where they're placed and also what formation you're running. The formation we just went up against, I believe, was this one. So Ace was back here, everyone was sort of split. Now, if you're coming across things where something isn't working or you feel like you should be able to beat them, you might want to look into your formation and also the position of your groups and your units. All right, so let's switch to this formation. We'll put 2 attackers up front. So if their Zoro is already faster than us, which most of the Zoros you come across will probably be the first to attack, he's gonna go right here for all of this. So we'll put 2 attackers up front. We'll put Law in the back, who's not an attacker, and then we'll also put our tank back here, and in the middle we'll put another DPS unit, who's gonna take a lot of damage depending on the RNG with the tank. Right, so we're gonna rock this, and the only difference, other change we made is we took Brook out, and then we put Ace in. All right, there's Zoro, and he hits the back units, no silence. We got Cazarro, who's up against Marco over there. We got the Charm on Zoro. Things are sort of going a little bit different. There we go. The taunts would effectively shut those units down for a turn. There we go. That charm worked, so Zoro ended up taking out Marco for us. There's the heal. Got the charm, but we took him out on that turn. There's that burn buildup. So he's immune to all status control, so this should just be basic DPS. But you're starting to see how the tiers matter, but formation matters, as well as what runes you have equipped. We're not going to get the charm, but we're going to do massive damage. All right, so you saw we got different results there. So don't get dejected if you're fighting someone who's higher. If you are higher and you're getting beat, so when you fight them, you can see their formation and sort of come back. If you're fighting against units you haven't fought before, check to see what their skills are and which positions they attack. And then what you do is you go over here for your defense, right? I run this sometimes, but I switch it up. Don't run the same defense. Go over here, switch up to a different one, right? These end up being interchangeable, and this is why the fleet was so important. And in my other video, I said to focus on that. Now, as far as tier list and characters go, let's look at some units. Let's look up some units who I've come across, and I can explain why they're so powerful and why people mostly use them. All right, so first off, we have Ace. Ace you could get if you did any type of recharge or reached VIP level, something along those lines. I don't think it was so expensive in the beginning at those banners that are offered when you start the game. And then I got the second copy from the event, the Shell event, which was starring Pudding. That was the last event that happened, and he was in there for 300 shells. But either way, Flame Emperor. Attack front target based on the hero's position and deal 150% damage. Each burn has a chance of 20% and it lasts for 2 turns and that gets stronger. And you see here, burn unit loses 15% based on caster's attack. HP per turn lasts 2 turns. Another good one, Flame Wrath. This is when I was saying earlier, when his health drops, hero's HP is below 60%, cleanse all debuffs, attack plus 15%, crit rate plus 5%, immune to all crowd control skills, damage increased to 180%, plus no cooldown, and this effect lasts for 4 turns, can only be triggered once per battle, but it gets stronger as it goes, and then it also gets the Fury, which is self-attack plus 30%, crit rate, like all this wonderful stuff with the no cooldown penalty. So that's good. And this is the other one I was talking about, the burn bonus. Increases 5% based on the hero's attack. Burn damage caused by friendly units. So it's very important to know if you're running any other character who does flame damage. I know Wano Usopp is a character like that. Akainu is another one. There's a couple more. I just can't think off the top of my head. Hey, Rayleigh the Dark King, another good unit. Attack front target based on hero's position and deal 171% damage, 60% chance to healing ban. This is 2 turns. What's really important here is the cooldown to use this skill. And they can't heal themselves for 2 turns. So that's very good. And it only gets better as the level goes up. Released after the second turn, and it's a 4-turn cooldown, but attack 3 random targets and deal 130% damage. Deal 15% more damage if the target has less speed. So you really go in, and this is also part of the revival ban. Units can't be revived. So all he does is DPS and just hate on other units, stop them from getting healed. All right, and lastly, we have Dark King. When being attacked, 30% chance to fight back just with a basic attack. Now, the percentage doesn't go up, but down here, if you do happen to get into level 3, when taking crit, fight back with Hades' Wrath, deal 200% damage and guarantee a crit. Less HP deals more damage. Not a bad unit to sort of deal with Marco or a team running 2 healers to sort of help you out. Wano Zoro, a definitive beast because of the silence. It can release at the first turn, 4 turns for the cooldown. Does extra damage to the DPS. Not only that, he's also a finisher. All right, and then we have Polar Tiger Hunting. Can be released at turn 2 for turn cooldown. Now, this deals 260% damage at base to the lowest HP target. That's really good. So you know someone's getting down before they can get healed. He's going to go ahead and hit them. If the target is less than 30%, skill damage plus 15%. If it if it successfully kills a target, heal 15% HP. All right, so you're starting to see. And then lastly, the Great Swordsman, which is another passive skill. If Wano Zoro is the first friendly unit to move in a turn, every attack deals 15% more damage. If not, every attack has 40% chance to attack one more target, but deal 80% damage. Bruh, that's at level 1. All right, for the tanks, of course, we got Marco. I thought this was so interesting. I thought Marco would be support. He is straight up tank, and because of it, this dude is a problem. So you can end up running 2 tanks. Man, line attack. If any friendly unit's HP is below 30%, use Icy Flames to deal 72% damage. Heal friendly unit with the lowest HP and himself 110% based on attack. Otherwise, use Red Flame to deal 108% damage, 40% chance to cause burn. This is all off of 1 attack. Look at the cooldown on this. That's at level 3. So if you're going in and you see a Marco, know that you're in for some trouble. Think about your strategy. And his burn unit loses 7% based on the caster's max HP. HP per turn up to 100%. In his passives, he gets HP plus 15%, attack plus 5%, and that just goes up with debuff resistance coming on in 2nd and 3rd level. All right, Rebirth. This is his other skill. Now, at level 1, regenerate 3% HP per turn. If gets killed, instantly revive with 25% HP. Increase damage reduction by 20%. Last 2 turns. This can only be affected once, but still. And a unit's damage reduction plus 30%. And then lastly, Revenge Flame. When being attacked, if there's any friend unit with debuff, 75% chance to cleanse 1 debuff for all team members. Can be activated once per turn. That's a passive, y'all. At level 1, you see why he's a problem. All right, we got Sengoku here. This is a tank that I use in the Infinite Trials because I don't have Sengoku, so I borrow one to run as my main tank and sort of fill in the rest. Attack targets mid to rear, 88% damage, 30% chance to reduce target's attack by 20%, and that lasts 1 turn. So attack minus 20, last 2 turns here. I think that's at the higher levels. All right, this is the passive. HP and defense and speed, all bonuses that get larger, right? And then you also get the attacker's attack reduced here for 2 turns, and that gets better as it goes down. These are passive skills. Now we got the Daibutsu Punch. Attack target to the front and deal 189% damage. Grant a self-immunity shield that lasts for 2 turns. All right, is this Buddha form, which is also another passive. At the beginning of each round, grant a shield that can take 150% based on the attack damage to himself, and it lasts for 1 turn. If someone else is like, he's not the only character that can run a shield. Other characters can run a shield, or you can put a book on it. Do you understand what I'm saying here? So if you put a shield book on Sengoku, it becomes ridiculous. Like you got to be creative with these. All right, and that's gonna pretty much do it. I don't want to make this one too long, but I feel like a lot of characters are viable. There's a lot of different things that they can't do, and a lot of things that work in comps that just need to be figured out. Like and subscribe. Let me know who you guys are running, how you liking the game, and everything about it, man. I always read the comments, so make sure you put it down there. Even if it's nothing but, hey, saw the vid, or just, hey, what's up? It's not a problem. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Y'all take it easy. Peace.